Me and my sister were talking the other day because I had posted a caption of mine where I was talking about what I was going through with my wheelchair, and I was talking about how I needed to remind myself to remember my blessings. Like, yes, while I was going through what I was going through by having my wheelchair malfunction and mess up the way that it did, and it left me in the bed for 2 days, and trying to adapt to my wheelchair, after it had its malfunction. And I wrote a caption, and I was talking about, like, although yes, I am going through this problem and I am going through this life experience, I posted in my caption saying that although yes, again, I am going through this, I have to take in consideration about my blessings. Like, I am not in the hospital. While I was here and feeling sorry for myself and focused so much on this problem that I was going through, there was somebody in the hospital fighting for their life, hoping that they could make it home, and while I was going through this, and I was trying to remind myself of these blessings, like focus on what you have, not what is missing. And I wanted to make this video because while I posted that caption, my sister had reached out to me, and she was like, hey, I loved your post, I really like how you were able to express yourself and share more about your life, and she was like, but I want you to know, like, what you are going through, it is validated. And I found comfort with that message, but I wanted to make this video to show my thought process on that aspect. When oftentimes when we go through problems, when we go through different changes, with our life, whether it's something that we once were able to do, we no longer have that same opportunity. Maybe that opportunity is slipping away, maybe that opportunity no longer exists. And I want you to know that although yes, you are going through this problem, and although yes, you may be going through a hard, trialing time within your life, it is important too that although yes, you do have a hard, understand that other people have it worse than you. And if you are one of those individuals like me sometimes, when I look around, my circumstances seem a lot worse than those around me. But if I look even bigger, if I pause, take a step back, and I look around, I look at the bigger picture, there is somebody else who has it far worse than I do. Yes, my disability may be progressive, but at least I'm not in the hospital, and at least, I'm not wondering if I will see another light of day. Yes, although I may be going through what it is I go through, it could be worse. Like, I could have a few hours left to live. I could be on my last breath, and I'm not, right? So the purpose of me making this video is, one, it's important to count your blessings. Don't take your life for granted. And the way you can discover your blessings, and especially when you're going through a really dark time and you're really going through a really hard time, it's really hard to kind of understand that somebody else has it worse, let alone that, there's something that you can learn from this experience. I get it. Trust me. I understand this much more than I can share within this video. Living with a progressive disability, is a big problem. It teaches you a lot, and it's something that, it feels like you cannot escape from, because you can't. It's a disability, it's progressive. There's eye care for it, but there are treatments, right? And, and back to you, whatever it is you're going through, it is validated, and it is okay to feel these certain emotions. You may be the only one going through this particular problem or this particular circumstance, and everybody around you may not be able to fully understand where you're coming from. They may not be able to resonate, or let alone, to put it simply, understand why you feel the way that you do. And if you have a good support system, like fortunately for me, people will understand, if people will look at you and understand maybe why you would quit, or they wouldn't hold it against you if you decided to throw in the towel, to stop trying. They wouldn't blame you. But I am here to tell you that if you are going through a hard time and if you're in a dark path, I understand this topic much more than I can possibly share within this video, and I do not say that lightly. I have a progressive disability. It's a big problem. It's a reoccurring thing that I can't escape from. It has its moments. It has its seasons. Being in and out of the hospital at a very young age. Being on a psychiatric hold. That's a very, very dark period within my life. And when you're going through, these seasons within your life and these dark times within your time, these dark valleys, it's really hard to understand, that somebody else has it worse. And it's more so even hard to understand that that you are still blessed, that there are blessings that are currently surround you while you are going through those seasons. It's hard to believe, that while, you're laying in your bed, you're crying, and you're wondering if things will ever get better. You don't understand why certain things are happening. It's hard to believe, hey, there's still blessing in this. Not everything is quite taken away from you. Not everything is the way that it is. Not everything is the way that it seems to appear to you. You need to don't take your life for granted. The purpose of this video is to remind you, don't take your life for granted. Because although, yes, you may have it bad, and I'm not saying that what you are going through is not validated, but for me personally, my mindset is if I consistently feel like what I go through is validated, it's okay that, I am maybe having a day or maybe having certain emotions and I may be, projecting my own pain onto others, because I'm hurting inside or because I'm really going through something. It's okay to feel these emotions, but what's not okay is to let those emotions get the best of you. The best of you should be, you're going through this thing, and it may, affect you a little bit emotionally, even mentally for a little bit, but you shouldn't let it, consume you. And the way you don't let it consume you is, you have to eventually get to a moment, where you stop feeling sorry for yourself. You pause everything that you're doing and you look within. Me feeling sorry for myself and me doing what I continuously keep doing, it's not benefiting me. It's not benefiting me whatsoever. And the way to help you get through that I have learned, again, from having this progressive disability, going in and out of the hospital, being on a psychiatric hold, and many other life experiences that has tested me, trialed me, challenged me, immensely challenged me, is I had to stop what I was doing and I had to take a step back. And I had to remind myself that, yes, although you may have it bad, there are other people that have it worse. Count your blessings. Don't take your life for granted. Because again, while you're going through what you're going through, there is somebody, you could be home going through what you're going through, but there's somebody in the hospital fighting for their life. Yes, you could be going through what you're going through, but could be somebody suffering, having very short time to live. As you are complaining and as you are feeling sorry for yourself, there is somebody else taking their last breath. As you are watching this video, somebody out there is taking their last breath. There's somebody out there who is immensely suffering. And the purpose, of this is to one, say what you are going through, it is not permanent. This season is going to pass. And two, what you're going through, it is validated. It is understandable why you go through, why you feel the way that you do, because of the things that you go through. But the third thing that I really hope you can take away from this video is to remind yourself of your blessings. If you have the ability to see, that's a blessing. You watching this video is a blessing. You hearing this video is a blessing. You being able to access this video by having internet, a device to access this video, is a blessing. You being able to wake up alone is a blessing. And I know there are people who wake up and they go through things, that are inhumane. Try to take away the faith that no matter what it is you are going through, no matter what it is that life appears to be for you, that God is with you. He has not left you, and He never will. But to count your blessings. Don't take your life for granted. Try to find a way, to don't stay in your own sorrow for too long. And eventually, pick your head up. And find a way to keep the faith and have the faith to keep going. I love you. I appreciate you. And remember, grow through what you go through. Much love.